Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are here on Riverbend Springs. Today we are going to be starting a cattle farm. So we're going to be buying some fields, setting up the cattle farm. Hopefully we can get everything built in this episode, all the equipment bought, and then start buying cows here all in this episode. So to start out here, we've got our International TransStar. There was a mod that just came out yesterday that you can change the colors. So I went with this nice white or gray on top, silverish color with the black on the bottom. You can't change these like orange and white lines on the side, which is kind of unfortunate, but it still looks pretty decent. So I went with that. We also got the Demco trailer here with the Kubota SVL 97-2. Beautiful looking skid steer here. And then of course I had to go with my Agco Alice 9785. Beautiful tractor here. This is also a mod that can be found. I think it's on Mod Network if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure you can just type in Agco Alice FS25 and you can find it pretty easy. So this is the equipment we're starting with now. We're gonna head over to the plot of land that I bought and we're gonna figure out how I want to build this farm. Alright, so to kind of give you guys a rundown here on how I want this farm to be built, I want to have at least enough capacity to run about 1,000 head of cattle. I'm thinking about doing beef cattle, probably some Angus cattle. Now, I've noticed, Nate showed me the other day that the Angus cattle, you can't choose between the red and black. You just get a mix of both, which is really unfortunate. I like having my black Angus, of course. Nothing against red Angus, but I feel like you usually don't see them both combined together in a pasture, at least in my experience. Maybe there is, but typically I don't see them combined together. They're in separate pastures. So that's unfortunate, but we want to have at least 1,000 head of cattle available. This is going to be a pretty good sized farm. We want to have kind of a bigger operation here. We're not starting this from scratch by any means. We're just going to start right at the top and then see how big we can grow this thing. Now without mods, it's going to be hard to get good American sheds, of course. So we're going to try our best here to make it the most American feel. Now we're going to try and do the dynamic pastures or whatever it's called, try to make our own pastures and spice those things up to make them look American. I'm not sure we're going to use actual cattle barns. We might just put some barns inside of those dynamic pastures if you can, to try to make those look more American. Of course, we don't have many American barns to begin with, but that's just kind of the overall feel that I'm going to try and do here. Alright, we are rolling up on our piece of ground, though, that we're going to build the farm on. It's these two fields right here on the left. One is ready to harvest. I think it's canola or something. I can't remember. But yeah, we're just going to pull in the driveway here. Off to the side, actually. Stay out of the way for when we're building. But yeah, these are the two fields that we own. I don't remember the field numbers off the top of my head. I think they're like 51 and 52. But there is a slight slope here, which is going to be a pain to build on. But I'm up for the challenge. I love building things with slopes. It gives it character and stuff like that. So from what I'm thinking right now, this is going to be the main cattle lot here on these two fields. Put a cattle barn and pasture back in that corner. Potentially have the main area up here for like the grain, the silos for silage and stuff like that. I'm not sure if I'm going to do silage bales or if I'm going to do silage in a bunker. Probably a bunker because I want to chop some corn silage and stuff like that. And then, of course, beyond the tree line, we got a couple more fields back there. Those are going to be mainly pastures, and then we need a couple fields actually for the corn, for corn silage and stuff like that. But the plan's coming together. I'm going to go ahead and jump in the sky, and let's get this thing built. Alright guys, I spent roughly 2 hours designing and building this farm out here, so I'm going to do a quick little walkthrough here. So first we've got our American flag, and then we got another sign here I found, a couple of mods I found this morning. Slow down, keep the dust down. I thought that was pretty neat. Got the windmill there. Now, this is like the first time me walking around, so these bushes might be a little bit big. Might have to remove those, make them a little bit smaller, but coming through here we've got our fuel barrel here with this nice looking American barn. It looks a little big, but I think it'll work just fine. Right now I've only got my my truck in here and then my semi and flatbeds in here for now. A ton of space in here. We can still add a whole bunch of stuff in here. Got some decorations here, some bins or something like that. We got our skid steer over here in front of our barn here. This is an older barn. I don't have anything inside of that yet. Got some trees down. I've got this barn down here. I love the way it turned out down here, just down in the bottom area. And then I've got this hill over here I didn't really know what to do with. God, this the terraforming and the slopes and everything had me all messed up. I had to spend a lot of time trying to figure out the layout I wanted. I think everything turned out pretty good, but I got a lot of trees in here, and I'm not sure I like them all. I might have to go through and cut these down, or at least some of them down, and place some smaller ones in, because I can't see through it, and I want to be able to see the quonsets in the back. Of course, I did put like a giant forest in here. I'm not sure if I like it or not. I tried to put some bushes through the middle, but it's hard to see to get the bushes in there. I have some touching up to do, but I don't think it looks terrible. I wish I could have added a different kind of tree, but the trees are just so differently sized that it's really hard to make everything fit together and look nice. But we got our 9R on our plow or cultivator here. This cultivator does plow, so we don't need an actual plow. We've got our silage bunkers here. Everything looks good there. Of course, here's the barn. We got a bunch of stuff in the barn here. We got our Massey Ferguson tractor. We got a bale wrapper back there. Of course, we got the feed mixer, the bale transporter, and then a Vermeer mower. We've got our John Deere 6R right there. And then coming through here, this is more of that area I was talking about, the hill and the trees. Just get a better look at that here. And then we got our two quonsets, which is where most of our equipment is. We've got our Case Magnum here, the Case Magnum 400 on our John Deere 1770 planter. We've got our rake, we've got our water tanker, we've got the tedder, and then we've got a manure spreader and a sprayer. This shed is pretty jam-packed full of stuff. If I need the sprayer out, I'm going to have to move everything out of this shed, which is unfortunate. But moving on to the next one, we've got our AGCO Alice 9785 here. You saw that in the beginning of the video, but we've got our Vermeer self-propelled baler there. We've got our Wilson cattle trailer there. We've got the silage trailer here, and then the silage chopper right there. I went with the New Holland. The John Deere looked way too European in my opinion, so I went with the New Holland. It looks pretty good. And then sadly, we have to go with this trailer here for the silage. There's no other trailer in the game that can do chaff. So this is the only one we could use semi-trailer wise. So that's why we went with that. Coming through here, we've got 200 calves in here. We've got the Angus breed in here. We got 200 calves. Of course, like I said, there's going to be red and black Angus in here. Now, I don't think they increased the visible animal capacity or whatever it is. It used to be 25 in FS22. I haven't gone out and counted, but yeah, you still can't see very many of them in the pasture. I was hoping since you could make the pasture custom, you could see a lot more of them, but yeah, you can see some more of them in here. They're all dancing around and running around in here. It's a pretty nice barn. I wasn't gonna actually put this barn down, but I placed it down to see what it was like, and you could make the custom pasture around it, which I didn't realize you could. So that's why I went ahead and did that. Of course, we don't have any food in here, anything like that yet, so we need to get that rolling. But then I do have one more cattle pasture over in the distance. And in this pasture, we have 250 baby calves as well. We've got also the Angus breed in here. I went with just this little hut here, so you put water and food in there. We'll have to get these guys fed. These need water. The barn over there does not need watered, so that is good. Don't have to worry about water. But these calves, we've got 250 in here. I think the capacity for this is like 326. The other one is 293. So we've got well over 600 head capacity right now, which is pretty good. We're working towards that 1,000 head capacity. And I do have a lot of ground, so if I look at the map here, we got a farmland. We own a ton of ground. Of course, this is where the main farm is at. Took up these two sections here. These two sections are that cattle pasture I'm at right now. We've got this field giant field right here, field 38. We've got field 50, field 49, 55, 54, 65, 59, and 60. So we've got a ton of ground to where we can turn into corn silage or grass to turn into hay and stuff like that. I think I'm going to end up turning this barn here into the bale storage. Probably try and stack bales up in here. It's nice and tall for it. We can get a ton of bales in here. Now, I haven't been back to this section yet. Just a small section back here. I guess there's really not much you can put in there. But I think we could stack a ton of bales in here. We probably need a telehandler for that, but we still got $208,000 that we can use for that. So in the next episode, I'll probably be in the spring, probably in April, planting some corn and getting grass and stuff ready to go so we can get stuff going. I'll probably get rid of the calves that I have now and then rebuy them in the spring when we have feed. I bought them now just for a visual so you guys could see what they looked like in the pasture and stuff. And I really don't want to have to feed them while I'm skipping time all the way to April. So I'll probably sell those off, rebuy them in April or May when we have some hay or some feed for them. So anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Feel free to rate this farm out of 10 in the comments section. And if you guys want to see a save game, just let me know in the comments and I'll create a save game for you guys. I'll try to get the mods I used in the save game as well. I'll put a link to the mods in the post. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Thanks, guys.